Good morning. It's Monday morning, right after the big Super Bowl yesterday. And I'm Tom Remington, and you're watching an episode of Open Air with Tom Remington. Glad you could join me. Hey, I'm here today because see, I got a Alaska hat, so I'm going to talk about Sarah Palin a little bit. Now, I've been accused of being unfair to President Obama about him and his teleprompter. The latest being, the little thing that I did about him, using his teleprompter in a middle school, 6th grade class. And, of course, I lied and I didn't get the story right, but whatever. Well, anyway, did any of you watch Sarah Palin's speech before the Tea Party convention in Nashville on Saturday night? Yeah, well, it was almost an hour long, and I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a good portion of it, and it was interesting. But it seems that some on the left are all worked up because a photo was taken of Sarah Palin, and it shows her left hand, and it's got some ink writing on it. Oh my God, can you imagine? I mean, she wrote on her hand. That makes her a total friggin' moron, because she wrote on her hand, see? Now, she delivered her speech in an hour. Now, I don't know if she had notes in front of her or not. I don't know what this was all about on her hand, nor do I care, okay? Because comparing whether or not she actually made some notes on her hand to remind herself about something she needed to speak about or get clear in what she said, if she had to write it on her hand to do that or not, I don't know, okay? But I can tell you she didn't use a teleprompter. And, it's like these people, and Andrea Mitchell, do you know Andrea Mitchell? That's what Rush Limbaugh calls her, Andrea Mitchell from NBC. I mean, she mocked the woman, and the left blogs are just going nuts because this woman wrote on her hand she's a total moron. Just hick from Alaska, right? Well, funny because later on somebody got a picture of her talking, and it says on her hand, "Hi, Mom," right? And supposedly the photo is real, that she later wrote "Hi, Mom" on there. I don't think that's to remind herself to say hi to her mom. But anyway, now this comes from the side who supports the teleprompter in chief. Okay, so here's a woman who perhaps she had to make a note on her hand to remind herself to mention, whatever. All right? And this is just, it's awful. I mean, to these people, nothing could be any worse than this woman doing that. Well, other than the fact that she's alive. As long as this woman is alive, these people they're deranged. They can't think. I don't know how they get through the day knowing that Sarah Palin walks planet Earth. But anyway, so they're all upset. They're all upset about this woman who wrote on her hand, right? Now this comes from idiots on the left who support our teleprompter in chief. I wonder how many of these morons who are making an issue about her writing on her, I wonder how many of them got tattoos all over their body and they got piercings in their tongue and in their ears and whatever. Okay? So, recently, now these people support the brilliant, just one of the most intelligent men that have ever served as president of the United States, they support him even though he can't talk without a teleprompter. He can't say anything. He can't formulate thoughts. He can't take them from his brain and put them out through his tongue unless he's got a teleprompter to read. And what's even worse is when he's got the dang teleprompter to read, he still screws up. And this goes back to the other day when he was reading about the Navy corpsmen. And twice he pronounced them corpsmen. The Navy corpsmen. You know, I would like, what's a corpsman? Is that like somebody who takes care of dead bodies? Or is a dead corpse who happens to be a man, is that a corpsman? And there's more of them, they're corpsmen? I don't know. You know, so... You know the old saying, you know, he's without sin, let him cast the first stone. All right? Now this comes from the same guy that they support, who, during his campaign, had visited 57 states, and he wasn't allowed to go to Alaska or to Hawaii, but that's okay. This is the same teleprompter-in-chief who was bragging about his connections to Selma, Alabama, and the march over the bridge, and how his mother and father met, and while they were there, they conceived him. Well, he was born in 61, and the march in Selma was in 65. Boy, he should have wrote that down on his hand so he wouldn't forget, you know. And this is a guy who told the world, our teleprompter-in-chief, who told the world that he had an uncle that, you know, was an American soldier that liberated the prisoners at Auschwitz. I thought that was the Russians. But, you know, whatever. And 10,000 people died in Kansas City. You know, there's 12. And let's see, what else? See, I'm glancing down at my notes here because I'm not, you know, I'm not super intelligent like Barack Obama. So I have to use notes. And I didn't write on here because I don't have soap. I can't afford to buy soap to wash it off, so I didn't write on my hand. So I put notes down here. Okay, and the teleprompter-in-chief is the same one who come out and made a comment that he saw dead people in the audience. And a teleprompter-in-chief was the one who told the world about how we didn't have Arabic-speaking interpreters to go to Afghanistan, and that was hindering our progress. And they don't speak Arabic languages in Afghanistan. You know, so it's like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, oh, isn't it time to move on, people? Isn't it time to move on? This is a wee little woman who has a right to speak her mind and say what she wants to say. By God, she's got a right to write on her hand. And you know what? Barack Obama has a right to use teleprompters when he goes out to speak. Okay? And I don't have a problem with that. Well, I do have a problem with that. Not that he doesn't have the right to do that, but I have a problem with that about image and attitude and the double standards and that sort of stuff. But anyway, what the heck do I know? Did I have that written on my hand? No, I guess not. Hey, you go out and have a good day, and, you know, if you got something to say and you can't remember what it's supposed to be, write it down on your hand, huh? See you next time on Open Air with Tom Remington.